Good morning, I'm Michael Lyon. Welcome to Events Canada. The Blue Barn Theatre closes its 25th anniversary season with the Tony Award-winning drama 33 Variations by Moises Kaufmann. The play, which features acclaimed pianist Hal France, opens Thursday, May 8th and runs through Sunday, June 8th. And my guest this morning is acclaimed pianist Hal France. How do you feel about that name?
Well, I'm okay with the Hal France part, but the acclaimed I had nothing to do with, and I don't know where that comes from.
Well, I think it's a fitting, knowing some of your background, I think that's a fitting moniker. 33 Variations, the play's been around for about 7 years, and it's in very short terms, a composer coming to terms with his genius, drama, memory, and music, combining to transport the audience from present-day New York to 19th century Austria. Tell us, first of all, so we have some frame of reference, what are the 33 Variations?
They are the work known as the Diabelli Variations, and they were one of the late compositions of Ludwig von Beethoven, and they are considered to be among the greatest variations ever composed.
And it's interesting because Beethoven didn't actually have an awful lot of respect for the simple tune on which he based those variations, but he spent rather a lot of time working on the variations, didn't he?
That in a nutshell is the sort of premise of the play, and getting to the bottom of that is the mission of the protagonist, Katherine Brandt, who is a musicologist, but she also has Lou Gehrig's disease. So there's a kind of there's interesting themes about music, creativity, Beethoven, and time and transience, all kind of interwoven very brilliantly by the playwright Moises Kaufmann.
Ruth Rath at the Blue Barn Theatre plays Dr. Katherine Brandt, and this is the play, by the way, that took Jane Fonda back to the Broadway stage in 2009 after a 46-year absence. Sort of tell us how the play expands. Give us more of a sense, because there's some switching back and forth between present day and Beethoven's time.
There's really two protagonists in the play and two time periods. In the present, this musicologist whose mission is to kind of solve some mysteries that she has. Why did Beethoven spend 5 years on this silly
and why is she so obsessed with this?
Well, that's kind of, you're getting down to the bottom of it, but I guess at the bottom of it, she looks at the thing that Diabelli wrote, which is this waltz, as a ditty, and she's a musicologist of Beethoven, and so therefore, why would someone so grand spend so much time on something so trivial? But in the process of her investigation, it takes us back to the actual time. So we're also in the time of Beethoven, and the other protagonist is Beethoven, and he's surrounded by two other characters in his time, his assistant Anton Schindler, and Diabelli, the publisher who wrote this little waltz as a kind of a marketing scheme, really. He wrote a waltz and sent it to 50 composers and said, write a variation, I'm going to put it in a book, you're going to get lots of publicity, but he's going to get a book with a compilation of 50 composers in it. And so
this was actually
his firm.
This was actually how this happened.
It is.
Okay.
It is. But then something unusual happened, was that Beethoven, who originally said, well, I'm not going to be one of 50 composers doing this, started to look at this thing, and he got all these ideas. And therein lies kind of one of the things that I love about this, is that it's really about his creative process, which was extraordinary, and which is extraordinarily documented by the fact that he wrote everything down. He has thousands of pages of sketches, which are the source of all kinds of investigation, and those sketches are part of the play. So I mean, that's cool.
The musicologist Katherine goes to these documents, and what sort of relevance do these have in terms of her disease, the ALS, and the sort of struggles that she has?
Well, I think that the relevance is that she's got the hourglass of her life is ticking. I mean, it's turned upside down, and what the playwright does so brilliantly is he shows the parallel between what she's going through and what Beethoven was going through during this point in his life, when serious illness really began to have an impact on his life. So those two, that's a theme that kind of intersects in the play, and it's brilliant in that way, and it brings up much larger issues, because I think, if the play were merely about musicology or just music, it wouldn't be nearly as compelling as it is, but it is about life.
Blue Barn co-founder Nils Haaland portrays Beethoven. Scotty Pace is his secretary, Anton Schindler, and Diabelli is played by Paul
Bozing, who's a composer himself, yes.
You can get more information about this at bluebarn.org. This would, Hal, this would really seem to be an ideal fit for you. The variations, as they sort of enter into the play, are fragments, right? Performed by you. Not performed by you as Beethoven, but as sort of incidental music.
I'm not a character in the play, but I am a presence, because the music is the character in the play. And the music is interwoven into the play. Sometimes variations are complete interludes. Sometimes they're used as underscoring for the atmosphere of the drama, and other times they're used as examples where there actually are scenes about the variations, talking about how he went about doing this, the sketches. It's really a great play. I mean, he did it right.
I'm struck by the fact that you are not only, I know, a very accomplished pianist, but also as a conductor of opera of some years standing, that you've been responsible for creating the music that either drives or enhances the action on stage. How is the experience of being a solo pianist in this kind of setting?
Well, it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, I feel like I'm doing music for a play. I feel like I'm involved in the combination of music and drama, and so what I do is a lot similar to what I would do as a conductor of a musical drama, musical theater. But I also have to live up to the Beethoven, stamp and brand, as it were, and it's very much in evidence in the play. So it's a little bit, it's not quite like playing ditties. It's really like playing Beethoven,
sure,
which is really a great challenge and a lot of fun.
You were not raised artistically and musically by wolves, but you did receive piano lessons in your early years from a wolf and a fish, I understand.
My gosh. Are you speaking of my piano teacher, Mrs. Wolf?
Mrs. Wolf and Mrs. Fish.
Where in the world had you dig that up? Mrs. Wolf changed my life. She was the one who told me I was musical. And Mrs. Fish, I can't believe this, Mrs. Fish was my 6th grade music teacher. And I didn't really act on it, but I had one of the best years of my life when I was in 6th grade because of the great activities that we had in her class. So those are two early influences on my life, teachers that changed everything for me, yes.
You went from not playing much piano at all to playing 8 hours a day, and I want to harken back to a 2004 article, which you probably will be surprised I discovered, from the Orlando Sentinel, which says, quote, he attended college in part, speaking of you, on a football scholarship. His favorite drive music includes Diana Krall and Linda Ronstadt. He'd rather ride his bike through downtown neighborhoods than jet off to Europe. He's more comfortable with a Habitat for Humanity hammer in his hand than a flute of champagne, and in his fantasies he's not at Lincoln Center conducting the New York Philharmonic, but in a club playing jazz piano. Is that still pretty much the same?
Well, I like to do a lot of different things, and I guess freedom is a great thing, and so I like living here. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it's nice to be able to do a lot of different things and not be just down one driven path all the time. So I guess it's true.
For Events Calendar, I'm Michael Lyon. My guest this morning, thanks so much, Hal France. We've been talking about 33 variations at the Blue Barn Theater. You can get more information at bluebarn.org. Hal, as always, a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.